I think one of the NBA awards is set, but the rest, not even close. I've got my predictions for every single major NBA award next season, from my Coach of the Year selection all the way to my dark horse MVP pick. We'll be covering it all in today's video. And a couple of these picks are definitely going to start some debate. Make sure to stay tuned to the end of this video where you'll find out my MVP prediction next season. This is Full-Time Takes. Let's dive in. We'll start out with the 2026-2027 NBA Coach of the Year, and my pick is Nick Nurse of the Philadelphia 76ers. Personally, I believe the first 20 to 25 games this season will be rough for Philly, getting used to having so many ball-dominant players. But this pure talent of this roster is insane. I think by December, they will find their stride, especially if Embiid can stay healthy, which is a very big if. I predict they will be the best team in the NBA during the second half of the season. Nick Nurse is a good coach, coaching a talented team. I sense hold up a top 2 seed and a Coach of the Year for Mr. Nurse. Next up, we'll do an easy one, probably the easiest pick of this video. The Defensive Player of the Year will once again be Victor Wembanyama. Last season, Wemby finished as the first ever unanimous Defensive Player of the Year in NBA history. That is incredible. There's an argument heading into year 4. He already makes the most defensive impact of one player in NBA history. This is only year 2 of his defensive dominance, so the whole voter fatigue thing isn't too much of a problem, if one at all. Victor is a top 3 player in the league, and his size and how he uses it is rivaled by few, if any, rivaling guys like Hakeem, Gary Payton, Dikembe Mutombo, Anthony Davis even, as long as Victor stays healthy, which is likely the only thing that could hurt his case next season. He is the easiest pick of this entire video. Man, this freaking guy is overpowered. Can we nerf this dude for Joker's sake? See what I did there? He'll be in this award race for a long, long time. To continue, we have a very difficult award to predict, the most improved player next season. But my pick, personally, is Matej Buzelis. Buzelis is already considered a good player and is a big part of the Chicago Bulls' future. I believe that with a team like Chicago, who isn't necessarily looking to win, but instead grow their youth, this is a great situation. The Bulls themselves have nothing to prove and a whole lot to gain. And meanwhile, Buzelis has a whole lot to gain and a whole lot to prove. His contract situation is quite uncertain, so he's planning to get paid. Buzelis is projected to get a higher usage rate, and when it comes to the whole narrative thing, he is a young, promising player who has a chance to turn into a franchise cornerstone. Matej Buzelis is going to have an all-star level season and win Most Improved Player. How about we stay on the topic of youth? My prediction for Rookie of the Year is A.J. Dibonsa. I'm aware of the concern of him winning this award, as well as the fact that this pick is basic. But who cares? It's the right one. The main concern is that the Wizards have some talent for the first time in a while, young and experienced. Washington has some players to give the ball to. But on the flip side, not only is AJ incredibly talented, but he's being put into a very good situation. He was the leading scorer of college basketball last season and is a 6'9" forward who can efficiently score at all 3 levels of the game. Also, when you dive a little bit deeper, Dibonsa is an incredible isolation player, and with the spacing created by Trae Young, he'll be given a ton of one-on-one opportunities. And also, the whole weight of this team isn't on Dibonsa, which I think helps more than it hurts. And I think that could help increase his production. That might be a hot take. I don't know. Just imagine the fast breaks with Anthony Davis's defensive rebounding along with Dibonsa's speed and versatility. Oh my gosh, a scary, scary sight. This is the boring pick, I know, considering he was selected number 1 overall, but it's the easy one and the correct one. At 6th Man of the Year, unfortunately, I have Dylan Harper winning this award. I say unfortunately not because I don't like him. In fact, I love the dude. He's one of my favorite NBA players. But I say that because he deserves to start. Since Agent 4, we're going to call him, Aaron Fox, he doesn't deserve for us to say his real name, is said to start, I have Harper winning this award. Dylan Harper was incredible in the playoffs, but especially in the finals, he played like the best player in a Spurs jersey. In the 4th quarter, he looked like the only competent player in San Antonio. Next season, Harper basically has a guaranteed higher usage rate. He is the uninhibited and primary engine of the Spurs' second unit. It's already been established he can play his best against the best competition, and no matter the pressure of the setting, he'll deliver. And the mentality of Agent 4 not being competition for him actually drives his narrative. Wemby decided to take a pay cut. With a franchise player setting a sacrifice, his patience to stay on the bench and help run the offense in general, will be loved by the media. There's probably some bias here because I'm a big fan of him, but his raw box score stats alone should propel him. All right, guys, we've got the part you've all been waiting for, but please, 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 bear with me here. I've got my all-NBA team selection from 3 to 1. Let's run through this and then finally get to my MVP prediction. My third all-NBA team consists of the following. First up, we have Scotty Barnes, who had an incredible postseason last year against the Cavs, and whose potential, I believe at least, will be fully unlocked with Kawhi Leonard on their roster. Secondly, we have Jalen Johnson, who was an all-star last season, and I think is going to have another leap and continue to lead the Atlanta Hawks. Next, we have Kevin Durant, who regresses from last season, but still plays at an all-NBA level, otherwise known as playing like Kevin Durant. Fourth, we have Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is tough putting him here because of health concerns, but he's got a lot of motivation on a new team with a new home. He just, like I said, has to stay healthy. Lastly, on the third team, we have Tyrese Maxey, who almost averaged 30 last season. But this year, with a better team, a more complete roster, he in fact becomes a more complete player and gets the respect he finally deserves. The second team, All-NBA, is probably the most difficult of this entire video of the three. But at the start, we unfortunately, but necessarily, have to pick Jalen Brunson. Brunson cemented himself as a top 5 player in the NBA after last postseason, but next season he finishes as the 6th best player in the league. You'll see why soon enough. Secondly, Cade Cunningham, who took a leap as not only a great two-way player, a franchise cornerstone, and a top 5 guard in the league. Well, I don't know if that's an argument or not. I will say arguably. He just contributes and gets better through his tear throughout the Eastern Conference. Next up, we have Anthony Edwards, who finally has a true point guard in LaMelo Ball, and a balanced roster, receives a great honor, and is going to have the best season of his young career. Fourth, we have Donovan Mitchell, who, since getting paid big money, I wish I made that much money, man, has one thing left to do: bringing the city of Cleveland a championship. Their first without LeBron Ramon James. The GOAT! Last on the second team, we have Jaylen Brown on his new team. Brown, on a competitive roster, is coming off the best season of his career and is ready to prove that the Celtics made an absolutely horrible mistake by trading him. Finally, my first team All-NBA selections are pretty simple except for one person. We have Luka Doncic, who regardless of defense, finally has a roster truly built around him in LA and his needs. This is the first team that was built truly to his needs since I would say probably the 2024 Dallas Mavericks, and that's kind of excluding defense. Who knows? Maybe they'll sign a forward like Jonathan Kuminga. Next, to the back-to-back MVP of the league, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai is just a transcending player you find few, if any, times during an era. And a handful of times in your life. Hopefully he can finally put that flopping behind him. My bad. Next, we have who we talked about earlier, and my defensive player of the year, and I feel like a lot of people have him there, Victor Wembanyama, who gets a first-team All-NBA honor. Wemby has already been great in his career, but especially in the playoffs, he seemed uncomfortable, like he almost doesn't fit in his frame. I noticed this watching film, watching highlights, and just watching the games live. Like I said, he feels uncomfortable at points. He doesn't feel fit in that body, that 7'5" frame. But, in my opinion at least, this is the year where Wemby finally gets everything to click. Fourth, as you would expect, we have, in my opinion, the best player in the NBA right now. Screw the playoffs. We have Nikola Jokic. As long as health isn't a concern, Jokic is going to do Joker things. And I don't believe that age is a concern just yet for him. That's another guy who will just be so good, and is so good. Also, if you believe Jokic can average a triple-double next season, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Sorry, I was trying to break the tension. My last pick for the first team All-NBA, and I guess I'll just say it now, my most valuable player next season is... No drummer? Okay, anyway. Just trying to break the tension, my gosh. I have Jason Tatum getting first team All-NBA honors and winning the MVP of the NBA next season. Told you I had a dark horse MVP pick. Jason Tatum just lost the Robin to his Batman, the Kobe to his Shaq, the Jordan to his LeBron. Sorry, Jordan fans. And he lost a sidekick who wasn't just any other sidekick. While Tatum was out, Brown had an MVP level season. He isn't just any other second option. And yes, I'm aware the Celtics roster isn't bad per se, but here's the most part of this prediction. The Celtics will finish as a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference, and Jason Tatum will have the biggest carry job in NBA history since Russell Westbrook. Goodness, that's the type of prediction that gets you flamed on the internet. Wow. Well, I said it, and I'm going to stand on it. Tatum is the undisputed focus and finally the main focal point of the Celtics. In 83 career games without Brown in his career, he averages 28 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. Secondly, and in today's NBA, unfortunately, even more important, the narrative. The narrative. And he completely has that in his favor. Tatum in the previous years has had incredibly deep and talented rosters, which has been both in his favor and has been his downfall. As a solo engine of this team, that narrative dissipates. Secondly, as fortunate as it is, voter fatigue. Also, can we have a counter of how many times I say voter in the next couple sentences? Put it right there. Thanks. Nikola Jokic has won 3 MVPs in the 2020s. Whoa. Math. No more school for me, at least for now. And SGA won the last 2. The voters are looking for someone new. Wemby and Luka are his biggest competitors, and I can definitely see them winning it. But I wouldn't have picked Tatum if I didn't have the utmost faith in him. Also, don't forget, this is his first year since the Achilles tear, which will certainly make the season even more impressive, especially for the voters. Voter. Sorry, I got bored with the counter. I needed to add a bit of action, if you know what I'm saying. Well, guys, there we have it. Those are my 2026-2027 NBA award predictions. This video was fun to make because there's a little bit of everything. There's easy picks, there's controversy, and a whole lot of fun. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. This is Full Time Takes. I'm your host, Kellen. Also, make sure to check out these videos. Peace. Boo, boo, boo.